3.3 major project 5. This is an introduction to project 5. Towards the end of project 4, I was working on this piece, which has been inspired through research, chainmail, which was research from the Wallace collection, and I took a photograph, and it was a chainmail jacket. Now, I liked the idea through some feedback that my tutor with one of my pieces that I demonstrated the thin red line for dyslexia. She liked the simplicity. So what I wanted to achieve with this piece was to keep it as simple as possible by knitting rectangular pieces of Aran yarn and then forming a ring. So over the duration, there's quite a lot of time taken, as in hours, to make this piece, and it is basically constructed with 2 squares with an opening to put the head through so that the sample or the garment can be worn. So each square contains 100 rings. Now this piece has developed from a small square which became very playful. You could stretch it, you could put your hands through, you could manipulate the fabric. And what has become quite interesting with this piece, as the piece has got larger and larger, I sensed the weight of the knitted materials, and it really feels chainmail like to touch, hold and to wear. The piece is quite heavy but soft and flexible. So as a performance piece, and using this piece with the body as a platform, I think the Aran yarn is durable. It's soft to the touch, but I think it's the heaviness of the yarn that gives it the heaviness overall, now that the sample is large scale. And as we can see, the garment or the piece moves. I can rotate the piece, I can change the way that I wear the piece, and I can almost make the piece perform. And even though the piece to look at is quite simple, I think this has an element of avant-garde, what would be used in the ateliers, but also the element of, I think this is a commercial piece. I could see this in production as a piece of knitwear. It could be a scarf, it could be a jumper, it could be a shawl, it could be whatever I wanted it to be. So I feel that the research has now become real by wearing chainmail, and it makes me feel that my creativity, that I'm using this piece as a piece of armour to protect me. The piece is titled Creativity is My Armour, so I feel that this fulfills my project brief. And I think that this is the way that I work, or have been working through the projects, is to take an idea as to whether it becomes large scale or small scale, but to work on mini projects that through the duration of my studies towards the end will then all connect as a whole performance pieces. What I'm enjoying at the moment is I feel that each piece that is filtering through research, through my critical thinking with the use of drawing, the sketchbook still remains very important, that with each piece feeling different, it feels as though it will be a performance in its own right, for the fact that the pieces will be individual, as to whether they will be quite simple, or whether they'll be a little bit more detailed. But this, I feel, is now following the brief that I set at the beginning with my project plan, that I want to tell a story about my dyslexia and the creativity and the journey that I've been taking and I've been fulfilling with my textile practice.